A series of missile attacks have recently shaken Israel to its core. The sudden and unexpected nature of these strikes has left the nation in a state of heightened alert and anxiety. The missiles launched from various locations have targeted both urban and rural areas, causing widespread concern among the population. The impact of these attacks has been felt across the country, from the bustling streets of Tel Aviv to the serene landscapes of Mount Hermon. The sense of security that many Israelis once felt has been significantly undermined by these events. From the busy city of Tel Aviv, where life usually moves at a fast pace, to the quiet and peaceful Mount Hermon, everyone is on edge. The contrast between these two areas highlights the widespread nature of the threat. In Tel Aviv, the bustling city life has been disrupted by the constant fear of another attack. People go about their daily routines with a sense of unease, always looking over their shoulders. Meanwhile, in the rural areas near Mount Hermon, the tranquility has been shattered by the sound of explosions and the sight of missiles streaking across the sky. These attacks, originating from both Gaza and Lebanon, have exposed some vulnerabilities in Israel's defense systems. The sophisticated radar and missile defense systems, which were thought to be impenetrable, have shown cracks under the pressure of these coordinated strikes. The military is now working around the clock to address these weaknesses and bolster the nation's defenses. The situation at the borders has become increasingly tense, with both Gaza and Lebanon being hotspots of conflict and aggression. The constant threat of missile attacks has put immense pressure on the defense forces, who are tasked with protecting the nation from all sides. One of the most alarming incidents involved a missile known as the Palestine II, which struck a school. The sight of the damaged building with rubble and debris scattered everywhere was a stark reminder of the potential for tragedy. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, working tirelessly to ensure the safety of the students and staff. The incident has sparked a nationwide debate about the safety of schools and other public buildings in the face of such threats. Parents and educators are calling for increased security measures to protect the most vulnerable members of society. Fortunately, the number of casualties was minimal, but the psychological impact on the community has been profound. The sight of children being evacuated from their school, their faces filled with fear and confusion, has left a lasting impression on everyone. This incident has served as a grim reminder of the ever-present danger that looms over the nation. It has also highlighted the bravery and dedication of the emergency responders who put their lives on the line to protect others. Their swift and efficient actions have been widely praised, but the incident has also underscored the need for better preparedness and response strategies. Another missile, the Kalkan 3, was launched from Lebanon and headed towards Mount Hermon. The rural area, known for its natural beauty and peaceful atmosphere, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight as a potential target. The missile's trajectory and the subsequent response from the defense forces were closely monitored by the media and the public. The incident has raised questions about the effectiveness of the current defense strategies and the need for more advanced technologies to counter such threats. The people living in these areas are now grappling with the reality of being on the front lines of a conflict that shows no signs of abating. These attacks have sparked widespread concern among the Israeli population. Many are now questioning whether the nation's defenses are robust enough to withstand future threats. Discussions about the need for improved defense systems and strategies are taking place at all levels of society, from government officials to ordinary citizens. Military experts are conducting thorough inspections of the existing defense infrastructure, looking for ways to enhance its effectiveness. The recent events have served as a wake-up call, prompting a renewed focus on national security and the need to stay vigilant in the face of ongoing threats. Israel's defense system, which everyone thought was super strong, is showing some cracks. The Iron Dome, which is supposed to stop short-range rockets, is having some trouble. The new Palestine II missile is tricky for the Iron Dome to stop because it's really good at dodging. Experts are trying to figure out what went wrong. The Arrow system, which is for long-range missiles, is also being looked at closely. Israel needs to improve its defenses to keep up with these new, fancier missiles. Another worry is that Israel's special radar, called the X-band, might have a weakness. This radar gives Israel time to stop incoming missiles, but some reports say it can be jammed, meaning it can be stopped from working. Some think technology from Turkey was used to jam it during the attacks. If enemies can stop the radar, that's a big problem for Israel. Israel's defense leaders are very concerned and are working on fixing this. These attacks on Israel aren't happening on their own. They are part of a larger, more complex web of conflicts and alliances that have been brewing for years in the Middle East. The region has always been a hotspot for geopolitical tensions, but recent developments have escalated the situation to a new level of urgency. There's a lot of trouble in the Middle East right now. From the bustling cityscapes to the quiet rural landscapes, the entire region is feeling the strain of ongoing conflicts. News footage shows the stark reality of life in these areas, where everyday activities are overshadowed by the threat of violence and instability. The Houthi rebels in Yemen, who are friends with Iran, have been getting better missiles, and that could be a problem for Israel. The Houthis have been engaged in a brutal conflict with the Yemeni government for years, and their alliance with Iran has only strengthened their position. With Iran's support, they have acquired more advanced weaponry, including missiles that can reach further and cause more damage. They have dangerous missiles and drones, which is not good for anyone. These advanced weapon systems pose a significant threat not just to Yemen but to the entire region. Drones can be used for surveillance or as weapons, and their presence in the hands of the Houthis adds a new layer of complexity to the conflict. The fighting in Yemen could spread to other places, which is a big worry. The conflict has already had a devastating impact on Yemen, causing a humanitarian crisis with millions of people in need of aid. But the fear is that the violence could spill over into neighboring countries, destabilizing the entire region and drawing in more international players. And it's been said that Iran is giving the Houthis better missiles, which is alarming. Iran's involvement in the conflict is a major concern for many countries, including Israel. By providing the Houthis with more advanced missiles, Iran is not only prolonging the conflict but also increasing the potential for a wider regional war. Even though Yemen is far away, Israel needs to pay attention. The distance between the two countries might be significant, but the reach of modern missiles and drones means that no place is truly safe. Israel's military is on high alert, constantly monitoring the situation and preparing for any potential threats that might arise from this volatile region. The missile attacks and the problems with Israel's defenses have people thinking, especially religious people. Many are talking about whether God is protecting them or not. Some think these attacks are a test from God, showing that humans aren't all-powerful. In synagogues, rabbis are explaining the attacks using religious books. Some say people need to pray more. Others think it's a punishment. But some people think that praying isn't enough and that Israel needs to improve its technology too. These attacks aren't just about technology, they're also about strategy. Hezbollah and Hamas have found ways to get around Israel's defenses. Hezbollah's Kalkan 3 missile from Lebanon shows they have lots of missiles. Hamas's Palestine 2 missile shows they are getting better weapons too. Israel needs to rethink its plans and improve its defenses. Hezbollah and Hamas are getting stronger, so Israel needs a better plan. These attacks are a big warning for Israel. The recent surge in missile attacks has brought a new level of urgency to Israel's security concerns. The explosions in urban areas have not only caused significant damage but have also instilled a sense of fear and uncertainty among the citizens. The frequency and intensity of these attacks are unprecedented, making it clear that Israel's current defense strategies may no longer be sufficient to protect its people and infrastructure. Israel used to think its technology was the best, but things are changing. The advancements in military technology by other nations and non-state actors have started to challenge Israel's long-held technological superiority. The control rooms, once considered state-of-the-art, now need constant upgrades to keep up with the evolving threats. Radar systems that were once foolproof are now being tested by new, more sophisticated missile technologies. High-tech military operations that were once the pride of Israel's defense forces are now being scrutinized for their effectiveness in this new era of warfare. Israel needs a whole new defense plan. The traditional methods of defense, which have served the country well for decades, are now being questioned. Military strategy meetings are more frequent, with officials from various branches of the defense forces coming together to brainstorm and develop new tactics. Defense systems planning has become a top priority, with a focus on integrating new technologies and methodologies. Military officials are in constant discussion, evaluating the current threats and anticipating future ones, to ensure that Israel remains prepared and resilient. It can't just rely on the Iron Dome and Arrow systems anymore. While these systems have been incredibly effective in intercepting missiles and protecting the population, the evolving nature of threats means that relying solely on them is no longer viable. The Iron Dome, known for its precision and reliability, is now facing challenges from more advanced and numerous missile attacks. The Arrow missile system, designed to intercept long-range threats, is also being tested by new technologies. Israel must diversify its defense strategies to include a broader range of solutions. New missiles mean Israel needs more ways to defend itself, like lasers that can shoot down missiles. The development and deployment of laser defense systems represent a significant step forward in Israel's defense capabilities. These systems offer a new layer of protection, capable of intercepting and neutralizing missiles with precision. The demonstrations of advanced military technology showcase the potential of these new systems, but they also highlight the need for continuous innovation and adaptation. Israel's defense forces are now investing heavily in research and development to stay ahead of the curve. Israel also needs to talk to other countries and try to make peace to stop the fighting. Diplomatic efforts are becoming increasingly important in the quest for security. Engaging in international peace talks and building alliances with other nations can help to de-escalate tensions and reduce the frequency of attacks. The footage of diplomatic meetings and peace talks underscores the importance of these efforts. By fostering better relationships with neighboring countries and the international community, Israel can work towards a more stable and secure future. These attacks are a big moment for Israel, showing it can't just sit back and relax. The recent events have served as a wake-up call, highlighting the need for a proactive and dynamic approach to security. The footage of the Israeli city skyline under threat and the reactions of the people to the missile attacks illustrate the gravity of the situation. Israel must remain vigilant and adaptable, continuously reassessing and updating its security paradigm to protect its citizens and ensure its sovereignty in an increasingly volatile region. As Israel deals with these attacks, the United States, its best friend, has a tough decision. America's new missile technology could make things worse in the Middle East. If America gives Israel better weapons, it might make other countries want even stronger weapons too. America is really good at making missile defenses, but if America gives Israel a system called THAAD, other countries might feel threatened. Then they might try to get even better missiles. America needs to help Israel stay safe without making the fighting worse. These attacks have made Israel realize it's not as safe as it thought. Other countries are catching up. First, Israel needs to make its missile defenses better. This means getting new technology like special weapons that use energy. It also needs to improve its older systems. Israel also needs to be better at stopping computer attacks and jamming. And Israel needs to work with other countries in the area. If Israel keeps making new technology and keeps its people safe, it can handle these new dangers.